In the last 30 days, we generated just over $817,000 in revenue for one of our clients. And in this video, I'm going to share a landing page structure with you that you can take from this video, apply to your e-commerce brand, and start testing to increase your conversion rate. And as you know, if you want to scale your e-commerce brand, one of the levers that you need to pull is increasing your conversion rate. So using landing pages is a perfect way to do that. So the landing page that we're going to be breaking down is this one from a brand called UndrDog, and UndrDog sells this t-shirt. Now, they're taking a similar approach to a well-known brand called True Classic, which you guys may know, but with a few slight differences. And their landing page has a lot of very good consumer psychology baked into it, a lot of direct response baked into it. And we're going to be breaking down every single step of this landing page. I've got this Figma built here, which is breaking down each of these sections in detail with the exact learnings that you can take from it. So you know, not just the framework and the structure, but why it's structured in that way. And this brand is running around 180 ads on Facebook, and they're driving most of the traffic from these ads, from these cold Facebook ads, to this page and converting people into new customers. Okay. So before we dive into the video, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jordan Hayes. I've been running a marketing agency since 2020. We help e-commerce brands scale to 8 figures and multiple 8 figures. The way that we do that is through running Facebook ads, optimizing the funnel, building our landing pages. If you're looking for someone to help you on all those areas or just even one of those areas, we do both for our clients. So yeah, if you're interested, there's a link down below in the video description. You can go check that out. Okay. So before we actually break down section by section, I want to do like a kind of a sweep of the landing page overall so that you get to see the whole thing first. And then when I break down section by section, it actually makes sense. So we start with the above the fold section, the hemp and bamboo breathable tea that lasts longer than your mortgage. Okay. And we're going to break down all these things afterwards and why these things are worded in a specific way. Subheadline, hero image, we have some highlighted features here, and then a CTA with some social proof and a risk reversal. Review call out. And then we get into more of the explanation. So the why, right? Why does this t-shirt exist? And starting to educate a little bit on what makes it different. Okay, so why I built Forever Tea? I've been building brands and houses since I was a kid, but t-shirts, that's where the obsession kicked in. Every shirt I owned sagged, shrunk, stank, or fell apart. Didn't matter the price, I was constantly rebuying. That pissed me off. So I set one goal, make the world's strongest, best fitting t-shirt with a lifetime guarantee. Okay, then it goes into hemp and kind of like a wake-up call. So the breakthrough, I went back to the lab and asked, how do you make a breathable, strong, chemical-free shirt that lasts forever? Answer, hemp and bamboo. We have a little more explanation, a little more features, a sign off by the founder, right? So it's very personal from the founder. What exactly is it? So the what, right? The us versus them, what's in it, what's not in it. We don't just make claims, we prove it. So they have these like demonstrations, knife drop test, fog machine, airflow test. We're going to go through all these and also some more features and benefits as well. Comparison table, why you actually need this shirt, appealing to some failed solutions and problems that customers are currently facing. What to expect, putting this on a timeline. Lifetime warranty, bonus, and then the offer itself. 1-on-100 shirts comes with a real gold bar, real reviews, recap, and the product buy box itself, and more reviews, more social proof as well, okay? So the page itself, like quite a few sections, but you see the structure is quite simple, and it's quite simple in the way that it's laid out, right? Now, I'm going to break down each of these sections. So let's start with the above the fold section right here. So the headline itself is clever because it has this polarizing promise, right? Lasts longer than your mortgage, grabs attention. It also is a little bit of humor, which can play into the audience. But just remember that not all audiences or not all products are receptive to that humor, and it may not make sense in all cases. So again, that's just like a side little caveat. Make it make sense to your avatar and your audience and speak directly to them. Next, we have the visual hierarchy, which makes things very easy to consume, right? We're just consuming down the page. There's not a lot of left to right. It's just all the way down. And it seemed like the desktop version is pretty much how we structured on mobile. But it just creates this visual hierarchy where we have the T image front and center, product focus and avoids distraction. We have these little benefit icons here, which are very easy to skim and read. And then we have very clear color contrast with the black and orange, right? It feels bold, it feels masculine, it feels on brand, okay? Then we have the trust and the social proof, right? Trusted by 100,000 men, and a testimonial creates immediate credibility. And the lifetime guarantee is also highlighted twice, which reduces the purchase risks, which is obviously strong for conversions as well, okay? So we see the lifetime guarantee here, buy once, wear for life, and then we also see the guarantee repeated below the CTA button, okay? Now, important things when it comes to like design, the button stands out, right? It's using like the main color standing out of the background. And then the social proof is placed around the button. It's placed around the critical area where people are making a decision to actually purchase this or not, all right? And quick one on the review, adding an image just adds a little bit more trust that this review is genuine, and having it again around the CTA button is key as well, okay? Now, section 2 is actually the why, okay? Why I built the Forever Tea from the founder itself. So it's founder storytelling. It's a personal narrative, and it humanizes the brand and it makes it relatable and builds trust. You're not buying from some like faceless corporation. You're buying from an individual itself, right? And I would say that this works very well if your brand is, I would say, like still at the 7-figure mark and you're scaling towards the 8-figure mark. I have experienced that in order to continue scaling, like the founder angle kind of wears off a little bit. It can still work very well, but rather than kind of like you're buying from one person, you need to appear as a bigger company, because the people who are less aware that you need to convince more and more and educate more and more on your product, it's likely that they will buy from a company that looks a little more reputable than just, one person selling t-shirts out of their warehouse. Okay. And this is just what we've experienced. And I think as you go bigger and bigger as a brand, you have to make that known and look the part in terms of that scale as well. And the structure here that's followed with this little founder section is that it builds emotional tension, it talks about frustration, and it goes into the mission and then the solution. Okay. So this is built from a personal need. And that always is good when it comes from a founder angle, because they built it for themselves first and foremost. And a lot of people can buy into that. The positioning, so it clearly differentiates UndrDog from mainstream tees. It's not just another fashion brand, but it's a health and lifestyle upgrade. And it moves beyond sustainability into personal well-being, which broadens the appeal as well. Okay, so here we have the goal: make the world's strongest, best fitting shirt with a lifetime guarantee. Hemp was the key, which is like the initial discovery. And then, some drawbacks to that, right? It felt like cardboard, all that stuff. And then after we state that, we have some drawbacks, right? Like felt like cardboard, not breathable, not wearable. And then we have this wake-up call, right? Which is basically that polyester and PFAS lead to infertility, cancer, hormone collapse, right? So it's quite a bold call out on these sorts of materials. Again, you have to be careful with this, because I don't know if you can make these direct claims. You might find yourself in hot water, so just be careful. But what they're doing here is, like, I like the angle of what they're doing, because it basically creates a common villain, or like an enemy that the customers want to avoid. And by doing that, you get people to come onto your side because you draw your line in the sand. And aside from the information on the page itself, there's other things that are happening, like these videos. It just makes it more engaging, and it keeps people scrolling through, right? We see here this like X-ray, which is always interesting. X-rays or animated depictions of the problem work extremely well, because it allows the customer to visualize it in a different sense than just looking at humans. So quick recap, as I mentioned, section 1 is all about the hook. It's all about getting people in and getting people to read more of the page, right? You introduce the product, you talk about some of the features, the benefits, and then you ask people to buy now. Okay, you put around some social proof, a risk reversal there, and then you want to go into the why, right? Like, why does your product exist? What were the frustrations, the failed solutions, and why is the product the way it is? Okay, then you want to expand on that, and that's where section 3 comes in with what exactly is it. So it's engineered with a patented DuraFlow tech, and this is a unique mechanism. Okay, this is what separates this product from all the other t-shirts out there, right? Because the customer is thinking, well, yeah, this sounds great, but I could just get a cotton t-shirt, or I could just get a hemp t-shirt from somewhere else, right? This t-shirt doesn't really differentiate from the other brands. And what happens is, if you don't have something like a unique mechanism to differentiate your product from the other ones out there, you become commoditized. And when you become commoditized, people look at your option the same as other options, and they end up choosing on price. And that is not a battle that you want to be in, because it's a race to the bottom. So what you want to do is you want to create a unique mechanism. And this is what this brand has done here with this DuraFlow tech. So they say 51% hemp, 31% bamboo, 80% organic cotton. And then they kind of list out why each of these materials matter, right? Hemp is 9x stronger, bamboo, breathable, anti-stain, cotton, just enough softness. And then absolutely zero, it tells you basically what it doesn't have. After it just said polyester and PFAS is kind of the enemy, it says it has none of that stuff, right? So here it's like no polyester and PFAS, like that's the enemy. And then it's basically saying, yeah, we don't have any of that stuff, okay? Now, section 4 is all about demonstration. And if you have a product where it's very easy to demonstrate it and show, don't tell, and kind of put it to the limits of its test, then it's a great idea to put that on your landing page. Think about how much more powerful it is to actually show these kind of extreme tests, rather than just saying like, yeah, or cotton, or like it's very breathable, it's durable, like whatever. Rather than just saying it's durable, or even like stretching the t-shirt, do something like a knife drop test, right? Do something like a little bit out there, a little bit crazy. Again, if it's on brand. An example of this, there was a jewelry brand that wanted to show how strong their chains were. So, for example, they used a chain to tow something like on the back of a car, right? So again, that's like you're showing how strong the chain is without, testing it in, I guess, conventional ways, right? The fog machine airflow test, again, just visualizes that air can flow through it and fog can flow through it. So if fog can flow through it, then air can as well, because it's, fog's thicker. The pool soak test is just another one. It's, it's better absorption of water, basically, when, it's relating to sweat, less stink, less cling. The BB gun test, which is an interesting one to basically say that it's super durable. The gym test, we handed it to the strongest guys, and we said, go ahead, rip it. So you see guys working out here. So basically, they're covering pretty much, as many use cases as they can when it comes to guys wearing this t-shirt. This little before and after here is actually taken from True Classic with a comparison of other brands versus your brand, which, is completely fine to do, right? It's working for True Classic. It's worked for them for years. And it clearly shows the difference in the fit as well. 100 wash test, wash, dried, beat up, repeat 100 times. Yeah, I mean, they're just using an image here. They could show, I don't know, throwing it into the washing machine just to visualize the point again and just make it easy for the customer to skim through this. Next up is section 5, which is a classic form of intensification. Now, intensification is a principle that was stated by Eugene Schwartz in his book, Breakthrough Advertising, one of the most important books when it comes to advertising. And there's many forms in which you can do intensification, but intensification is all about making the claims and your product more vivid in the customer's mind, which is going to make it easier for them to make a purchasing decision. One of the ways in which you could do intensification is through comparison. And the most common way of doing this on a landing page is not just showing like what we saw earlier, like a before and after video as we saw here. This is a form of intensification and comparison, but a comparison table, a classic comparison table is also a great way to do that as well. Okay, so you basically just state you have your product versus the other one. You have all these features and it's yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. You basically just make it very easy for the customer to make a decision as well. Okay, then this sort of section right here is important for future pacing. And basically it says you think your shirts are fine until you put this one on. Then suddenly you're wondering, why doesn't anything else fit like this? Why do my other tees smell like mildew after one wear? Wait, are my arms actually bigger or is this the cut? Okay, spoiler, it's the cut. So it's a little bit humorous as well, which plays into the type of audience they're selling to. And same here with this little line, this tea does more for your confidence than your protein powder does. So it's clever, it's good, I like it, I like the copy, it fits the brand very well, it fits the target audience pretty well. Again, you just want to make sure you tailor that to the type of people you're speaking to. If it doesn't make sense, then don't do it. But what this is doing, as I mentioned, is future pacing the customer to actually wearing the t-shirt, feeling a certain way, appealing to confidence, appealing to a core desire, right? It's not just about the t-shirt and the fit and the durability and all that stuff, which is great, but it's also about the confidence that it's going to give you because of the fit itself. Okay, so then we have section 6, which is all about what to expect. And I have this little timeline from day 1 all the way to year 1+. Now, the cool thing about this is that you're showing customers what it feels like to have the t-shirt over a year. And you're already starting to get them think in a little bit more of a long-term sense. And this is important for retention, right? It reinforces that the product's going to last quite a long time. And that not only helps you overcome an objection at the beginning, which is, if I buy this t-shirt, how long is it going to last? But it also gets your customer into that long-term investment mindset, okay? Which is important for e-commerce and D2C because, most of your customers aren't going to come back and purchase for the second time and so on. The copy here is also playful and on brand. So you see day 1, you put it on, you get a damn you lift, even if you don't. Week 1, it's your go-to, no sting, no sag, compliments incoming. Month 1, you've washed it 5 times, still looks brand new, you've thrown out 4 carton shirts. Year 1 is still your favorite, still holding shape, still outperforming everything else in your closet, okay? So very, very light, very easy to read and not a ton of information, and it just gives the customer what they need to make an informed decision. And that's really what you want your landing pages to do. Then we have the offer section. So $38 gets you the strongest, cleanest shirt on the planet. You can buy 1, you get these perks, lifetime entry to VIP drops, which is pretty cool. And buy 2 and you get free shipping. Okay, so just a little bit of a glimpse of the offer. But this is fine in terms of presenting the offer, but I would go a step further and present a bundle. So the way that I would increase AOV for this brand is I would offer a few different options. I would say you could buy 1 t-shirt for 38, you could buy 2 t-shirts for 58 and get 1 free, or you can buy a bundle of 4 t-shirts and get 2 free, or something like that, right? So basically, you're just giving people more value. You're also giving them more options, and you optimize towards the middle option. So that AOV is probably going to go from like $38 to $58, right? So it's a pretty big jump in AOV, and it's going to make it easier on new customer acquisition, okay? So after this little offer section, this little highlight of the offer, we have this 1 in 100 shirts comes with a real gold bar, which is an interesting idea for sure. Now I think, again, this has to be on brand. Like, do people actually want this? I don't know. Like, if it does lead to increased conversion, then fine. I think it's something that you have to test. But what this is doing is it's creating a little bit of gamification. So if it makes sense for your brand, you can create some sort of gamification, like 1 in 100, wins a free shirt, or 1 in 100 wins like maybe another one of your products that you pop in for free, or 1 in 100 wins like a bigger bundle, or for every 1 in 100 customers, we pay for your entire order, like something like that that's related to actually the product itself and not something like random like a gold bar, which doesn't really relate to the product at all. Then I think that could be a better way to do gamification that remains on brand and increases conversion at the same time. Then we go into community and social proof. This is always a good idea to use these like Facebook comments, just like screenshot them and just use the raw comments. Like I've seen this on other pages as well. And it works extremely well. It's very native. It's very organic. It looks real. Okay, and that's really the most important part. Now we look to the buy box itself as well, which again is fine. I would actually have the offer here, the 1, 2, and 3, the 3 different options here as well. So people can just select a size. They can select, the option that they want and check out. Now, this is interesting as well because the pre-order creates exclusivity. Okay, so it says pre-order your UndrDog hemp to get the next available batch. Next batch ships and it's August 29th, sold out. September 16th, 88% sold. So this is like the next shipping date and it's nearly sold out as well. Now, whether this is true or it's manufactured, I don't know, but it's a very good way to increase conversion now, is to get people to buy now. And in direct response advertising, you always need to give someone a reason to buy now, right? There's no reason to wait until tomorrow. And you don't want them to leave without buying because the chance of getting them to come back and buy is slim. So there needs to be a reason to buy now. So this is like urgency, it's scarcity because, there's a limited amount of units. I've seen other brands do this very, very well. And this is just another idea that you can take and apply to your landing pages as well, okay? Finally, we have more customer reviews, more social proof, where customers can just read through these and get a feel for how other people are experiencing the product. And that is the landing page, guys. This is a inverted PDP structure. So it's like a PDP, but you're kind of flipping on its head a little bit, like some sections that are usually further up or further down. Some sections that are further down are usually further up. So this works very well because you're taking customers through a journey of education to then making an informed decision to buy the product. All right, that's it for this video. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you are looking for a partner to come in and help you scale your e-commerce brand, this is exactly what we do. We've been doing this for years. And when you work with us, you're handing over the reins of this part of your business to a team that knows what they're doing. It's not their first rodeo. We come in with our strategy and we deploy that for you, and you don't need to be on top of us all the time. Those are just some of the perks of working with a team like ours. If that sounds interesting to you, then there's a link in the video description. The first one is going to be one to my website. You can go ahead, book a call with me, and we'll chat about your business and see if there's a fit for us to actually work together. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.